Come for Christmas, Keisha. See how happy I am without you, Marcus had said smugly, his new girlfriend beside him. Christmas morning arrived. A helicopter landed in the snow outside. Marcus laughed. Who does she think she is? The front door opened. Keisha walked in, wearing a designer coat. Behind her, 4 children in matching Christmas outfits. 4 identical children, with Marcus's face. His mother dropped her wine glass. His girlfriend started screaming. Keisha smiled. Merry Christmas, everyone. I brought the grandchildren you never knew about. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. $8,000 for a ring. She is going to lose her mind when I propose. Marcus Reynolds stood in his bathroom on the morning of December 20th, holding a small black box. Inside sat a diamond engagement ring that cost more than 3 months of his rent. The diamond caught the light from the window. Marcus smiled at his reflection in the mirror. He looked good. He knew it. Dark brown skin, trimmed beard, white teeth. He wore a gray suit that cost $600. The suit made him look successful. Marcus needed to look successful. He put the ring back in his nightstand drawer and walked to his kitchen. His apartment in Denver, Colorado, had granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. Marcus rented the apartment because it looked expensive in photos. He made coffee and checked his phone. 3 text messages from Ashley, his girlfriend. Good morning, baby! I can't wait for Christmas at your mom's house. Do you think your family will like me? Marcus typed back quickly. They will love you. You are perfect. Ashley was 27 years old, 8 years younger than Marcus. She had blonde hair and blue eyes. She worked as a dental hygienist. Marcus met her at the gym 3 years ago. She thought Marcus was successful and confident. She thought Marcus was perfect. Marcus never told her the truth about his past. He never told her about Keisha. Well, he mentioned Keisha once. He said he was divorced. He said his ex-wife was lazy and difficult. He said the marriage ended because they wanted different things. This was a lie. Marcus lied about many things. Marcus drove his black BMW to work. The car was leased, not owned, but people did not know that. Marcus worked at Summit Insurance Company as a middle manager. His office was small, with gray walls and no windows. He made $75,000 a year. This was good money. But Marcus always wanted people to think he made more. His co-worker James stopped by Marcus's desk at 9:30 in the morning. James was younger than Marcus and always asked too many questions. Hey, Marcus, you look happy today. What's going on? Marcus leaned back in his chair. I am proposing to Ashley on Christmas Day, at my mom's house in Boulder. James whistled. That's big, man. Congratulations. Did you get a nice ring? $8,000, diamond. She is going to cry when she sees it. $8,000? That's a lot of money. Marcus waved his hand like money was not important. You only propose once. You have to do it right. This was another lie. Marcus proposed once before to Keisha, with a ring that cost $800. But James did not know about Keisha. Nobody at work knew about Keisha. So it's just going to be your family there? James asked. Marcus smiled. Actually, I invited my ex-wife. I want her to see how good my life is now. James's face showed confusion. You invited your ex-wife to watch you propose to your new girlfriend? That's kind of weird, man. Not weird, just proving a point. Keisha thought I would fail without her. I want her to see she was wrong. James shook his head and walked away. Marcus did not care what James thought. Marcus had a plan. He imagined Keisha walking into his mother's house wearing old clothes. He imagined her looking tired and poor. He imagined Ashley standing next to him, young and beautiful, wearing the diamond ring. He imagined Keisha's face when she realized Marcus upgraded his life. The thought made Marcus feel powerful. During lunch, Marcus sat in his car and shopped online. He added expensive gifts to his shopping cart: a leather jacket for himself, a designer purse for Ashley, cologne, shoes. Marcus did not have money for these things. His credit cards were almost full, but Marcus needed to look successful. He clicked purchase and closed his laptop. Marcus texted Ashley throughout the afternoon. "Thinking about you. Can't wait to see you tonight. I have a surprise planned for Christmas. You are going to love it." Ashley responded with heart emojis and excited messages. She did not know Marcus was almost broke. She did not know Marcus had secrets. She only knew the version of Marcus he showed her. After work, Marcus went to the gym. He lifted weights and looked at himself in the mirror. He needed to look good. He needed to look better than whoever Keisha was dating now, if Keisha was dating anyone. Marcus assumed Keisha was probably single. He assumed she was struggling as a single mother. Marcus never asked anyone about Keisha. He blocked her number 8 years ago and never looked back. At 7 o'clock, Marcus met Ashley at an expensive restaurant in downtown Denver. The restaurant had dim lights and candles on every table. Ashley wore a black dress and red lipstick. She smiled when Marcus kissed her cheek. "This place is so nice," Ashley said, looking at the menu. "Are we celebrating something?" "Just celebrating us," Marcus said smoothly. During dinner, Ashley talked about wedding ideas. She showed Marcus photos on her phone of white dresses and flower arrangements. "I know you haven't proposed yet," Ashley said, laughing, "but I like to plan ahead. Do you think we would have a big wedding or a small wedding?" "Whatever you want, baby. I just want you to be happy." Ashley reached across the table and held Marcus's hand. "You are so good to me. I am so lucky." Marcus smiled. He felt powerful. Ashley worshipped him. She thought he was perfect. She did not ask difficult questions about his past. She believed everything he said. After dinner, Marcus drove Ashley home to her apartment. He kissed her goodnight at her door. "I love you," Ashley said. "I love you too. See you on Christmas." Marcus drove back to his apartment. He parked his leased BMW in his assigned spot and walked upstairs. Inside his apartment, Marcus poured himself whiskey and sat on his couch. He pulled out his phone. He scrolled through his contacts until he found a name listed as Denver Plumbing. This was not a plumber. This was Keisha. Marcus saved her number under a fake name, so Ashley would never find it. Marcus opened a new text message. His hands shook slightly. He was excited. He typed slowly. "Come to Christmas dinner at Mom's house in Boulder on December 25th. The family wants to see you one last time. Address: 428 Mountain View Drive, Boulder, Colorado. Noon." Marcus read the message 3 times. He imagined Keisha receiving it. He imagined her feeling surprised. Maybe she would feel hopeful. Maybe she thought Marcus finally wanted to reconnect. Marcus laughed quietly. He did not want to reconnect. He wanted to win. He wanted Keisha to see him with Ashley. He wanted Keisha to see the ring. He wanted Keisha to know she was not good enough. Marcus hit send. The message showed delivered. Marcus put his phone down and finished his whiskey. He walked to his bedroom and looked at the engagement ring one more time. Everything was going according to plan. On Christmas Day, Marcus would propose to Ashley in front of his whole family. Keisha would watch and realize Marcus was happy without her. Marcus would finally prove he won the divorce. Marcus went to bed feeling satisfied. He did not think about the 4 children he abandoned. He did not think about the pregnant woman he left 8 years ago. He did not think about consequences. Marcus only thought about himself. He always did. 300 miles away in Austin, Texas, Keisha Monroe sat in her home office. Her phone buzzed on her desk. She picked it up and read the message from a number she had not seen in 8 years. Keisha's hand tightened around her phone. Her jaw clenched. She read the message again. Then Keisha made a decision that would change everything. Keisha stared at the message on her phone. Her office was quiet. Outside the window, the lights of Austin, Texas glowed in the darkness. It was 9 o'clock at night. Keisha was still working. She always worked late. Building a billion-dollar company meant long hours, but now she could not focus on work. Marcus's text message burned in her mind. He invited her to Christmas dinner. After 8 years of silence, after abandoning her when she was pregnant, after changing his phone number and disappearing. Now he wanted her to come see the family one last time. Keisha knew exactly what Marcus was doing. He wanted to humiliate her. He thought she was poor and struggling. He thought she would arrive looking defeated. He probably had a new girlfriend. He probably wanted to show off. Keisha's hands shook, not from fear, from rage. Her office door opened. Dana, her assistant, poked her head inside. "Keisha, I am heading home. Do you need anything before I go?" Keisha looked up. "Actually, yes. Can you get Robert Chen on the phone for me? I know it is late, but tell him it is urgent." Dana nodded. "Of course. Give me 2 minutes." Dana closed the door. Keisha stood up and walked to the window. Her office was on the 20th floor of a glass building in downtown Austin. She could see the whole city from here. Keisha built this company from nothing. After Marcus left, she had nothing. No money, no family nearby, just 4 babies growing in her stomach and a determination to survive. Now she had everything. A company worth $2 billion, 3 houses, a private helicopter, employees who respected her, a life Marcus could never imagine. Her phone rang. Dana transferred the call. "Keisha, it is late. What is going on?" Robert Chen was her lawyer. He worked for the best law firm in Texas. "Robert, I need you to calculate something for me. 8 years of child support for 4 children, plus interest, plus penalties for non-payment." Robert was quiet for a moment. "This is about Marcus Reynolds?" "Yes." "Keisha, you do not need his money. You know that. This is not about money, Robert. This is about consequences. How much does he owe me?" She heard Robert typing on his computer. "Give me a minute. 4 children. 8 years. The state of Colorado requires a minimum of... Okay. With interest and penalties for 8 years of complete non-payment. Marcus Reynolds owes you approximately $1.2 million. Keisha smiled. It was not a happy smile. "Can you file the paperwork?" "You want me to file a lawsuit for child support? After 8 years? Yes, file it with the court in Colorado. I want it official. I want it legal. Do it tomorrow." "Keisha, what are you planning?" "I am going to Denver for Christmas. Marcus invited me. He thinks I am going to show up broken and poor. He is wrong." Robert sighed. "Do you want me to come with you? For legal support?" "No, just file the papers. I will handle the rest myself." "Okay, I will file first thing tomorrow morning. The documents will be ready by December 23rd. "Thank you, Robert. Send the bill to my personal account." Keisha hung up. She grabbed her car keys and her purse. She was done working for tonight. She had plans to make. Keisha drove home in her black Tesla. Her house sat in the hills west of Austin. It was a large house with a pool and a view of the city. She bought it 3 years ago when Parent Hub went public and made her rich beyond imagination. The gate opened automatically as she approached. Keisha parked in the circular driveway and walked inside. The house was warm and bright. In the living room, her 4 children sat on the carpet doing homework. Marcus Jr. was building something with plastic blocks. Mason was drawing in a sketchbook. Maya was reading a book about famous dancers. Mila was writing in her journal. Mrs. Garcia, their nanny, sat on the couch watching them. "Mama!" Mila looked up and smiled. All 4 children jumped up and ran to hug Keisha. She knelt down and hugged them tightly. These were her babies, her entire world. Marcus threw them away before they were even born. His loss. "How was school today?" Keisha asked. "Good," Mason said. "I drew a picture of a dragon. Do you want to see?" "I would love to see it. After dinner, okay?" Mrs. Garcia stood up. "I made chicken and rice. It is staying warm in the oven. Do you need me to stay?" "No, Maria. Go home to your family. Thank you for everything today." Mrs. Garcia kissed each child on the head and left through the front door. Keisha looked at her 4 children. They were 7 years old, smart, healthy, beautiful. She raised them alone. She worked 3 jobs while pregnant. She coded software while breastfeeding 4 babies. She built an empire while teaching them to walk and talk. She did it without Marcus. She did it without anyone. "Let's have dinner," Keisha said. "Then we need to talk about something important." The children followed her to the kitchen. Keisha served chicken and rice on 5 plates. They sat at the table together. This was their routine. Every night, they ate dinner as a family. Keisha did not care how tired she was. Her children needed stability. During dinner, Marcus Jr. talked about his science project. Maya talked about her dance recital coming up in January. Mason showed everyone his dragon drawing. Mila talked about the mystery book she was reading. After dinner, Keisha cleaned the dishes while the children sat at the kitchen table. She dried her hands on a towel and turned to face them. "I need to tell you something. We are going on a trip for Christmas." "Where?" Maitya asked. "To Colorado, to a city called Boulder. It is in the mountains." "Why are we going there?" Marcus Jr. asked. He was the oldest by 4 minutes. He always asked the most questions. Keisha sat down at the table. She looked at each child's face. "You are going to meet your father." The room went silent. The children stared at her. "Our father?" Mila said slowly. "The one who left when you were pregnant?" Keisha was always honest with her children. She never lied to protect them. She told them the truth in simple words they could understand. "Yes, his name is Marcus Reynolds. He sent me a message today. He invited us to Christmas dinner with his family." "Why does he want to meet us now?" Marcus Jr.'s voice was hard. "He did not want us before." "I do not know why, baby. But I think we should go. You have a grandmother in Colorado. You have 2 aunts. They do not know you exist. I think you should meet them." "Does our father know we are coming?" Mila asked. Keisha smiled. "No, he thinks only I am coming. He does not know about you 4. He is going to be very surprised." Maya crossed her arms. "I do not want to meet him. He left you when you needed help. He is a bad person." "Maybe," Keisha said, "but you should form your own opinion. You should look him in the eye and decide for yourself what kind of man he is." Mason spoke quietly. "What if he does not like us?" Keisha's heart broke. She reached across the table and held Mason's hand. "Listen to me. All of you listen. If your father does not like you, that is his problem, not yours. You are smart and kind and perfect. If he cannot see that, he is blind. Do you understand?" Mason nodded. "I do not need a father," Maya said. "I have you. You do have me. You will always have me. But you also deserve to know where you came from. You deserve to meet your grandmother and your aunts. They might love you. They might want to be part of your life." "Will we take the helicopter?" Marcus Jr. asked. "Yes, we will fly to Boulder on Christmas morning." "That is cool," Mason said softly. Mila looked at Keisha with serious eyes. "Are you going to be okay, Mama? Will it make you sad to see him?" Keisha smiled. "No, baby. It will not make me sad. I am not the same person I was 8 years ago. I am stronger now. We are stronger now." The children were quiet. They looked at each other, having a silent conversation only siblings can have. "Okay," Marcus Jr. said, "we will go. But if he is mean to you, I will tell him to leave you alone." Keisha laughed and hugged her son. "You are my protector. All 4 of you are my protectors." Over the next few days, Keisha prepared. She took the children shopping at an expensive store in downtown Austin. She bought them matching outfits, red and green for Christmas. The clothes cost $2,000 total. Keisha did not care about the price. She wanted Marcus to see her children looking perfect. She called her helicopter pilot, a man named Carl, who had worked for her for 2 years. "Carl, I need you to fly us to Boulder, Colorado on December 25th. We leave at 10 in the morning." "Colorado? That is a long flight, Ms. Monroe. About 4 hours. Can you do it?" "Of course. I will file the flight plan tonight." Keisha also called her hairstylist and her makeup artist. She scheduled appointments for December 24th. She went through her closet and chose her white designer coat. The coat cost $30,000. She bought it last year in Paris. It was the most expensive piece of clothing she owned. On the night of December 24th, Keisha stood in her closet holding the white coat. She looked at herself in the mirror. She was 33 years old. She survived something that should have destroyed her. Marcus abandoned her when she was vulnerable and afraid. He thought she would fail. He thought she would disappear. Instead, she became extraordinary. Keisha smiled at her reflection. Tomorrow, Marcus Reynolds would learn the biggest lesson of his life. Tomorrow, he would see the 4 children he threw away. Tomorrow, he would understand what he lost. Tomorrow, Keisha would win. Christmas morning arrived, cold and bright, in Boulder, Colorado. Patricia Reynolds woke up at 6 o'clock. She could not sleep any longer. She was too excited. Her son Marcus was bringing a mystery guest to Christmas dinner. Patricia loved hosting holidays. She loved cooking for her family. She loved seeing her children and grandchildren fill her house with noise and laughter. Patricia walked downstairs to her large kitchen. The house sat on a hill with views of the Rocky Mountains. Snow covered everything outside. The trees looked white and magical. Patricia turned on the lights and started pulling ingredients from her refrigerator. Ham, sweet potatoes, green beans, butter, cream. She hummed Christmas carols while she worked. Patricia was 62 years old. She retired from nursing 3 years ago. Now she spent her time decorating her house and spoiling her grandchildren. Well, the grandchildren she knew about. At 8 o'clock, the doorbell rang. Patricia wiped her hands on her apron and opened the door. Her daughter Nicole stood on the porch with her husband Tom and their 2 teenage sons, David and Christopher. "Merry Christmas, Mom!" Nicole hugged her mother tightly. "Merry Christmas, baby. Come in, come in. It is freezing out there." The family carried wrapped presents into the living room. Patricia's house was decorated with too many Christmas lights. Angels sat on every surface. A huge tree stood in the corner covered in ornaments. Cookies shaped like snowmen sat on plates in the kitchen. "Something smells amazing," Tom said. "What are you cooking?" "Ham with brown sugar glaze, your favorite, and sweet potato casserole." "You are the best mother-in-law in the world," Tom said, kissing her cheek. David and Christopher, both teenagers, went immediately to the living room and turned on the television. Nicole followed her mother into the kitchen. "So who is this mystery guest Marcus is bringing?" Nicole asked. Patricia shrugged. "He would not tell me. He just said someone special from his past wants to see the family again." "That is strange. Marcus does not usually keep secrets." Patricia laughed. "Marcus keeps plenty of secrets. He just does not think we notice." At 9:30, the doorbell rang again. Brenda arrived with her husband Keith and their baby daughter Jasmine. Jasmine was 10 months old with fat cheeks and curly black hair. Patricia grabbed the baby immediately. "There is my beautiful grandbaby. Give Grandma some sugar." Jasmine giggled and grabbed Patricia's nose. Brenda hugged her sister Nicole. "Is Marcus here yet?" Brenda asked. "Not yet. He said 10 o'clock. "Who is he bringing? Do you know?" "No idea. Mom does not know either." The sisters looked at each other with curiosity. Marcus was their younger brother. He was the baby of the family and the only son. Patricia spoiled Marcus when they were growing up. He got away with everything. Nicole and Brenda learned to accept it. At 10 o'clock exactly, Marcus's BMW pulled into the driveway. Patricia looked out the window and saw Marcus get out of the driver's side. A young blonde woman got out of the passenger side. She wore a tight red dress and very high heels, not practical for Colorado snow. "Is that Ashley?" Nicole asked, looking over her mother's shoulder. "I guess so. She's very pretty." "She is very young," Brenda said. "How old is she?" Marcus said 27. "He is 35. That is an 8-year difference." Patricia opened the front door. "Marcus! Merry Christmas!" Marcus walked up the porch steps and hugged his mother. "Merry Christmas, Mom. You remember Ashley, right? You met her briefly last summer." Ashley smiled nervously. "Merry Christmas, Mrs. Reynolds. Thank you for inviting me. Call me Patricia, sweetie. Come inside before you freeze." Ashley wobbled on her high heels, walking through the door. Marcus held her arm. He wore an expensive black suit and shiny shoes. His cologne was too strong. Inside, Marcus greeted his sisters and their families. He shook hands with Tom and Keith. He high-fived his nephews. He looked at baby Jasmine and said she was cute, but did not offer to hold her. Marcus did not like babies. Everyone gathered in the living room. Patricia served coffee and Christmas cookies. The adults sat on couches and chairs. The teenage boys played video games in the corner. Baby Jasmine crawled on the carpet. "So Marcus," Nicole said, "who is this mystery guest you are bringing?" Marcus smiled. "You will see. She should be here around noon." "She?" Brenda leaned forward. "An old friend?" "Something like that." Ashley looked at Marcus with confusion. "You said it was a family friend, someone your mom wanted to see." "That is right, baby. Do not worry about it." Tom checked his watch. "It is 10:30 now. We have an hour and a half to wait. This better be worth it, Marcus. Trust me, it will be worth it." Marcus reached over and held Ashley's hand. She smiled at him. She wore bright red lipstick that matched her dress. Her nails were painted gold. She looked like she was going to a nightclub, not a family Christmas. Patricia went back to the kitchen to check on the ham. Nicole followed her. "Mom, do you think Marcus is going to propose today?" Nicole asked quietly. Patricia smiled. "I think so. He has that nervous energy, and Ashley keeps looking at her ring finger. She seems sweet, a little young, but sweet." "Marcus needs someone who will not ask too many questions," Patricia said. "Ashley seems perfect for that." "What do you mean?" Patricia pulled the ham from the oven. Juice sizzled in the pan. "Marcus has secrets, Nicole. He always has. Remember when he divorced Keisha 8 years ago? He would not talk about it. He just moved to Denver and pretended his marriage never happened. I always wondered about that. He was so angry back then. Do you think something happened?" "I do not know. He would not tell me. He just said Keisha was difficult and he needed to leave." Nicole was quiet for a moment. "Do you think the mystery guest is Keisha?" Patricia stopped stirring the green beans. Why would Marcus invite his ex-wife to meet his new girlfriend? "I do not know, but you are right. Marcus loves secrets. Maybe this is some weird power move. If it is Keisha, I hope she is doing okay. I always liked her." In the living room, Marcus checked his phone repeatedly. It was 11 o'clock, then 11:15, then 11:30. No message from Keisha. He wondered if she would actually show up. Part of him hoped she would chicken out, but part of him wanted her to see Ashley. He wanted her to see the ring. He wanted to win. Ashley leaned close to Marcus. "Are you okay? You keep checking your phone." "I am fine, baby. Just excited for later." "For your surprise?" Marcus kissed her forehead. "Yes, for my surprise." At 11:45, everyone heard a noise outside. It started quiet, then grew louder. A deep thumping sound. The windows started to rattle. The Christmas ornaments on the tree shook. Baby Jasmine started crying. "What is that?" Brenda picked up her daughter. The noise grew louder and louder. It sounded like a giant fan. Patricia walked to the front window and gasped. "Oh my Lord! There is a helicopter landing on my lawn!" Everyone rushed to the window. Marcus jumped up from the couch. Outside, a large black helicopter descended slowly onto the front lawn. Snow blew everywhere. The Christmas decorations in the yard shook violently. A wreath flew off the front door. Marcus started laughing. "She actually did it. She rented a helicopter. That is so Keisha." Ashley grabbed his arm. "What? Who is Keisha?" Marcus ignored her. He called to his family. "Everyone come watch this. You are not going to believe it." Tom and Keith joined them at the window. Nicole held baby Jasmine. Brenda stood next to her mother. David and Christopher paused their video game to watch. The helicopter landed. The blades slowed down. The door opened. A woman stepped out. She wore a white coat that seemed to glow in the sunlight. Her hair was styled perfectly. Diamond earrings caught the light. She moved with confidence and grace. She looked like someone important, someone powerful. "Is that Keisha?" Nicole whispered. "She looks amazing." Marcus's smile faded slightly. Keisha looked different. She looked expensive. Then the helicopter door opened wider. A child climbed out. A little boy with light brown skin and dark curly hair. He wore a red sweater and black pants. He held Keisha's hand. Then another child climbed out. Another boy. He looked exactly like the first boy. Then a little girl climbed out. She wore a green dress. She had the same face as the boys. Then another little girl climbed out. 4 children total, all the same height, all the same age, all wearing Christmas colors. All 4 children had the exact same face. And that face looked exactly like Marcus. Patricia's wine glass slipped from her hand. It hit the hardwood floor and shattered. Red wine spread across the white carpet. The sound of breaking glass filled the room. Ashley's fingernails dug into Marcus's arm. Her voice came out high and shaking. "Marcus, who are those children?" Marcus's mouth opened, but no words came out. His face turned white. The color drained from his skin completely. He stared through the window at the 4 children standing on the snowy lawn. They all wore matching outfits. They all had his eyes. They all had his nose. They all had his face. Ashley's voice rose higher. "Marcus, answer me! Who are those children?" Marcus tried to speak. I can explain." But he could not explain. His brain stopped working. He stood frozen at the window. Nicole moved closer to the glass. "Those kids look exactly like you, Marcus. Exactly like you." Brenda held baby Jasmine tighter. Are those your children?" Patricia stood in the middle of the living room. Red wine spread across her white carpet from the broken glass. She did not notice. She stared at the 4 children outside her house. "Oh my God," Patricia whispered. "I am a grandmother." The front door opened. Cold air rushed into the warm house. Keisha walked inside holding 2 children by their hands. A boy on her left. A girl on her right. 2 more children followed behind her. Another boy. Another girl. Keisha wore the white designer coat. Up close, everyone could see how expensive it was. Her jewelry sparkled. Her makeup was perfect. She looked like she stepped out of a magazine. "Hello, Patricia," Keisha said warmly. "It is wonderful to see you again. It has been 8 years." Patricia could not speak. She stared at the 4 children. Keisha smiled and looked down at her children. "Say hello to your grandmother, babies." The 4 children spoke at the same time. "Hello." Their voices were small and polite. They stood in a line holding hands. 2 boys, 2 girls, all identical in height and appearance. Keisha gestured to each child. "This is Marcus Jr., this is Mason, this is Maya, and this is Mila. They are 7 years old. They are quadruplets." Patricia made a sound between a gasp and a sob. She took a step toward the children, then stopped. She did not know what to do. Nicole found her voice first. "Quadruplets? Marcus, you have quadruplets?" Marcus stood near the couch. Ashley backed away from him until she hit the wall. Her red dress was too tight. She could barely breathe. "Marcus," Ashley said, her voice shaking. "Tell me right now, are these your children?" Marcus opened his mouth. He tried to form words. You don't understand." Keisha looked at Ashley for the first time. Her face was calm. Her voice was steady. "Yes, these are Marcus's children. I was pregnant with quadruplets 8 years ago. I told Marcus the news. He filed for divorce the next day. He moved to Denver and changed his phone number. He never asked about the babies. Not once in 8 years. The room went completely silent. Even baby Jasmine stopped crying. Ashley's face crumpled. Tears started running down her cheeks. Black mascara ran with the tears. "Marcus, is that true?" Marcus finally found words. "No, she is lying. I did not know she was pregnant. She never told me." Keisha pulled her phone from her coat pocket. She touched the screen a few times, then held it up. "These are text messages from 8 years ago. December 10th, I told you I was pregnant with 4 babies. You responded by saying I trapped you on purpose. You said you wanted a divorce. You told me to never contact you again. She walked across the room and handed her phone to Patricia. Patricia took it with shaking hands. She read the messages. Her face went from shock to horror to rage. Nicole looked over her mother's shoulder and read the messages too. "Oh my God, Marcus, you knew. You knew she was pregnant and you left anyway." Brenda started crying. She held her baby daughter close. "You have 4 children and you never told us? We could have helped them. We could have been part of their lives." Marcus's voice got louder. "I was 27 years old. I was not ready for 4 babies. Do you know what 4 babies cost? Do you know how much work that is?" "So you just left?" Nicole's voice was cold. "You just walked away from your pregnant wife? She should have been more careful. She should have—" "Stop talking," Patricia said. Her voice was quiet but sharp. Marcus stopped immediately. He had never heard his mother use that tone. Patricia walked to the 4 children. She knelt down on the floor in front of them. She was still holding Keisha's phone. Tears ran down her face. "I am your grandmother," Patricia said. "I did not know you existed. If I had known, I would have been there. I would have helped your mother. I would have held you when you were babies." The 4 children looked at their mother. Keisha nodded. It was okay to talk. Marcus Jr., the oldest, spoke. "Our mom told us about you. She said you were nice. She said you did not know about us." Patricia sobbed. She reached out to hug the children but stopped herself. They did not know her. She was a stranger to them. She had no right to touch them yet. Maya, one of the girls, stepped forward. "You can hug us if you want. Our mom said it is okay." Patricia pulled all 4 children into her arms and cried. Nicole and Brenda rushed over. They knelt on the floor too. They touched the children's hair and faces. They asked their names again. They looked at their clothes and their shoes and their perfect faces. "I have a niece," Brenda whispered. "I have 2 nieces and 2 nephews. Oh my God, I always wanted to be an aunt." Tom and Keith stood back with awkward expressions. They did not know what to do. David and Christopher, the teenage boys, stared at the quadruplets with wide eyes. Ashley pushed away from the wall. She walked toward Marcus. Her high heels clicked on the hardwood floor. Mascara covered her face. Her red lipstick was smeared. "You told me you did not have children. You told me your ex-wife was lazy and difficult. You lied to me for 3 years." Marcus held up his hands. "Baby, I can explain. I was going to tell you. You were going to propose to me today. You were going to propose, and you have 4 children you abandoned." "I did not abandon them. I needed space to figure things out." Nicole stood up from the floor. 8 years is not space, Marcus. 8 years is abandonment. Keisha walked to the couch and sat down. She crossed her legs. She looked completely comfortable. The 4 children left Patricia and walked to their mother. They stood around her protectively. "Let me tell you what happened after Marcus left," Keisha said. Her voice was calm. She could have been discussing the weather. "I was pregnant with high-risk quadruplets. I had to quit my teaching job. I had almost no money. I moved to Austin, Texas, to live with my cousin Lisa. I worked 3 jobs while pregnant. After the babies were born, I started building a phone app at night, an app to help parents organize their lives. I called it Parent Hub." Brenda gasped. "Parent Hub? The Parent Hub? I use that app every day." Keisha smiled. "Yes, that Parent Hub. I built it into a company worth $2 billion. I own houses in Austin, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. I travel by private helicopter. My children go to the best schools in Texas. They have everything they need." She looked directly at Marcus. I did not need you then. I do not need you now. I built this life completely alone." Ashley turned to stare at Keisha. "You are a billionaire?" "Yes." Ashley looked at Marcus, then at Keisha, then at Marcus again. Her face showed complete understanding. Marcus invited his ex-wife here to humiliate her, but Keisha was richer than Marcus would ever be. Keisha won everything. Ashley started laughing. It was not a happy laugh. It was a broken, angry laugh. "You brought me here to watch you propose in front of your ex-wife. You thought she would be jealous. But she is a billionaire with 4 perfect children. And you are a middle manager with credit card debt who abandoned his own babies." Marcus's face turned red. "Ashley, please."
"Don't talk to me. Don't ever talk to me again."
Ashley reached into her small purse. She pulled out a black velvet box. The engagement ring box. She must have found it in Marcus's coat pocket while he was not looking. She opened the box. The diamond ring caught the light. "Were you going to propose with this?" Ashley held up the ring. "Ashley, put that away. We can talk about this later." "No, we are done talking." Ashley pulled the ring from the box. She threw it at Marcus's face as hard as she could. The ring hit his forehead. It bounced off and rolled across the floor. A small red mark appeared on Marcus's skin where the ring hit. The diamond ring rolled across the floor and stopped near the Christmas tree. Nobody moved to pick it up. Ashley stood in the middle of the living room breathing hard. Her chest moved up and down. Her face was red and wet with tears. "You are a liar," Ashley said. Her voice was loud and clear. "You are a coward. You are the worst person I have ever met." Marcus took a step toward her. "Ashley, please, let me explain. We can go outside and talk about this." "No, I do not want to talk to you. I wasted 3 years of my life on you. 3 years!" Ashley grabbed her coat from the couch. She pulled her phone from her purse and opened an app. Her fingers shook as she typed. "What are you doing?" Marcus asked. "I am calling an Uber. I am leaving. I never want to see you again." "You cannot leave. We came here together. Just calm down and we can figure this out." Ashley spun around to face him. "Calm down? You have 4 children. 4! And you never told me. You let me plan our wedding. You let me pick out my dress. You let me tell my parents we were getting engaged." Patricia stepped between Ashley and Marcus. Her voice was firm. "Ashley, sweetie, I will drive you wherever you need to go. You do not need to wait for an Uber." "Thank you," Ashley whispered. "I just need to get out of here." Marcus tried again. "Mom, stay out of this. Ashley and I need to talk." Patricia turned to her son. Her eyes were cold. "Sit down, Marcus. Sit down right now, and do not say another word." Marcus opened his mouth to argue. Then he saw his mother's face. He had never seen her look at him that way before. He sat down on the couch in the corner of the room. Ashley walked toward the front door. She wobbled on her high heels. She was crying so hard she could barely see. Nicole rushed over and took her arm. "Be careful in those shoes. The porch is icy." "I do not care," Ashley sobbed. "I just need to leave." She opened the front door. Cold wind rushed inside. Ashley stepped onto the porch without looking back. She slammed the door behind her with all her strength. The Christmas wreath hanging on the outside of the door fell off. Everyone heard it hit the ground. The house was quiet. Marcus sat in the corner. His expensive suit was wrinkled. His face was pale. The small red mark from the ring was still visible on his forehead. Patricia turned to Keisha and the 4 children. Her expression changed completely. The anger left her face. Now she just looked sad and desperate. "Please," Patricia said, "please tell me everything about them. I need to know everything." Keisha smiled gently. "Of course. What do you want to know?" Patricia knelt down in front of the quadruplets again. She looked at each face carefully. "How old are you?" "7, they all said together. "When is your birthday?" Mila, one of the girls, answered. "March 15th. "What are your full names?" Marcus Jr. stepped forward. He was the tallest by just a little bit. "I am Marcus Jr., but everyone calls me Mark." The second boy spoke. "I am Mason." The first girl spoke. "I am Maya." The second girl spoke. "I am Mila." Patricia wiped tears from her face. "Those are beautiful names. Do you go to school?" "Yes," Mark said. "We go to Austin Elementary School in Texas." "What grade are you in?" "Second grade." "What are your favorite subjects?" Mark smiled. "I like science. I am building a robot for the science fair." Patricia's eyes widened. "A robot? That is amazing. What does it do?" "It picks up toys and puts them in a box. I am programming it with my computer." Patricia looked at Mason. "What about you? What do you like?" Mason was quieter than his brother. "I like art class. I draw pictures." "What do you draw?" "Dragons and superheroes and my family." Patricia touched his cheek gently. "I would love to see your drawing sometime." Mason nodded, but did not speak. Patricia looked at Maya. "And you, sweetie? What do you like?" Maya stood straighter. She had confidence in her voice. "I like dancing. I take ballet twice a week. I am going to be in a recital in January." "Ballet! That is wonderful! What is your favorite thing about dancing?" "I like how it makes me feel strong and beautiful at the same time." Patricia smiled through her tears. "You are beautiful. You are so beautiful." She looked at Mila last. "What about you, honey?" Mila adjusted her glasses. "I like reading. I read 40 books this year." 40 books? That is incredible. What kind of books? "Mystery books. I like solving puzzles. I like figuring out who did the crime before the end of the story." Brenda sat down on the floor next to her mother. She was still holding baby Jasmine. "Can I see pictures? Do you have pictures of them growing up?" Keisha pulled out her phone. "I have thousands of pictures." She sat on the couch, and Brenda sat next to her. Nicole sat on the other side. Patricia leaned over the back of the couch. The 4 children stood next to their mother. Keisha scrolled through her phone. The first photo showed 4 tiny babies. They were lying in one hospital crib together. They wore little hats and were wrapped in blankets. "Oh my God," Brenda whispered. "They were so tiny." "They were born 6 weeks early," Keisha said. "Each baby weighed about 4 pounds. They stayed in the hospital for 3 weeks." "Were you alone?" Patricia asked. "My cousin Lisa was there. But yes, mostly I was alone." Keisha scrolled to more photos. The babies at 1 month old, the babies learning to crawl, the babies taking their first steps, 4 toddlers covered in birthday cake, 4 children on the first day of kindergarten. Brenda started crying. "We missed everything. We missed their whole lives." Nicole touched the phone screen. "Who took all these photos?" "I did," Keisha said. "I took photos every day. I wanted them to know they were loved and documented, even without a father." Patricia could not stop crying. She looked at photo after photo, Halloween costumes, Christmas mornings, soccer games, dance recitals, science fairs. 8 years of memories she never knew existed. "How did you survive?" Patricia asked. "4 babies alone. How did you do it?" Keisha was quiet for a moment. "It was the hardest thing I ever did. After Marcus left, I had no money. I was pregnant and sick. I could not work. I moved to Austin to stay with my cousin. She let me sleep on her couch. After the babies were born, I hired a babysitter with the last of my savings. I worked as a waitress at night. I worked as a tutor during the day. I worked at a call center on weekends. I barely slept." "Oh, honey," Patricia whispered. "When the babies turned 2, I started teaching myself to code. I watched free videos on the internet after the kids went to bed. I had an idea for an app to help parents organize everything. Schedules, babysitters, doctor appointments, school events, all in one place." Brenda leaned forward. "Parent Hub. You created Parent Hub." "Yeah, it took me 3 years to build. I worked on it every night. Sometimes I only slept 3 hours. But I knew if I could make it work, my children would never be poor. They would never struggle. They would have everything." Nicole shook her head in amazement. "And now, it is worth billions of dollars." "Yes. The app went viral 4 years ago. Suddenly, everyone wanted it. Companies offered to buy it for millions. I said no. I kept building. I hired developers. I expanded. Now, Parent Hub is used by 10 million parents across America." Patricia looked at Keisha with wonder. "You did all of that alone, while raising 4 children." "Yes, you are extraordinary." Keisha smiled. "I am a mother. Mothers do extraordinary things when they have to." Patricia stood up. She walked to the window and looked outside. The black helicopter sat on her lawn. Snow covered its blades. She turned back to Keisha. "Why did you come here? If you are so successful, if you have everything, why did you come to Boulder?" Keisha looked across the room at Marcus. He sat in the corner with his head in his hands. He looked small and broken. Keisha's voice was calm and clear. "I came to show him what he lost." Marcus lifted his head from his hands. His voice came out broken and quiet. "How much do I owe you?" Everyone turned to look at him. Patricia, Nicole, and Brenda sat on the couch with Keisha. The 4 children stood next to their mother. Tom and Keith stood near the doorway. The teenage boys had stopped playing video games. Everyone stared at Marcus. He cleared his throat and spoke louder. "For child support! How much do I owe you?" Keisha reached into her white coat pocket. She pulled out a folder. The folder was thin and white. She opened it carefully and removed several papers. She walked across the living room to where Marcus sat. Her heels clicked on the hardwood floor. She stopped in front of him and held out the papers. "These are legal documents. My lawyer filed them with the court in Denver 2 days ago." Marcus took the papers with shaking hands. He looked down at the first page. His eyes moved across the words. Numbers. Calculations. Legal terms. Then he saw the total at the bottom, $1,200,000. Marcus's hands started shaking harder. The papers rattled. This cannot be right. This is too much." Keisha's voice was calm. 4 children. 8 years. The state of Colorado requires a minimum child support payment based on your income. I calculated what you should have paid every month. Then I added interest. Then I added penalties for non-payment. $1,200,000 is what you owe. Marcus looked up at her. His face was gray. "I do not have that kind of money. I make $75,000 a year. I have credit card debt. I rent my apartment. I lease my car. I do not have $1 million. I know. So what happens if I cannot pay? Keisha tilted her head slightly. The documents are already filed with the court. If you do not pay, you will be arrested for child abandonment and failure to pay child support. You will go to jail. You will lose your job. You will lose everything. Patricia stood up from the couch. Keisha, I have to ask, do you need the money? I mean, you are a billionaire. Do you really need Marcus to pay you? Keisha turned to face Patricia. No, I do not need his money. I have more money than I could spend in 10 lifetimes. My children have trust funds. They will never want for anything. Then why are you doing this? Patricia asked. Because actions have consequences. For 8 years, Marcus lived comfortably while I struggled. He bought expensive suits while my babies needed diapers. He went on vacations while I worked 3 jobs. He pretended his children did not exist while I stayed up all night with 4 crying babies. I want him to understand that his choices have consequences. Nicole stood up too. Is there any way to reduce the amount? Any way to negotiate? Marcus looked at his sister with desperate hope in his eyes. Nicole, please, help me. I cannot pay this. I will lose everything. Keisha was quiet for a long moment. She looked at her 4 children standing together near the couch. They watched her with serious faces. Mark stood in front. Mason held Maya's hand. Mila pushed her glasses up on her nose. Keisha turned back to Marcus. I will make you an offer. One offer. You can accept it or refuse it. Marcus sat up straighter. What is it? I will do anything. I will forgive the entire debt. All $1,200,000. I will tear up these papers and drop the lawsuit. Marcus's face showed relief. Thank you. Thank you so much. I promise I will. I am not finished, Keisha said coldly. There is a condition. Marcus closed his mouth and waited. Keisha walked back to her children. She stood behind them with her hands on Mark's and Mila's shoulders. You must be a real father. Starting today. Starting right now. I can do that, Marcus said quickly. I can be a father. I want to be a father. Let me tell you what that means, Keisha continued. You will spend every Christmas with these children. Every single year. No excuses. You will attend their birthdays. All 4 birthdays. You will come to their school events, their soccer games, their dance recitals, their science fairs, their parent-teacher conferences. You will call them every week. You will send them letters and cards. You will show up. You will be present in their lives. Marcus nodded.
Yes, I can do that. I promise.
If you fail even once, if you miss one birthday, if you skip one Christmas, if you forget one phone call, the debt comes back, all of it, and I will take you to court immediately. Do you understand? Marcus stood up from the couch. I understand. I will not fail. I will be there for them. Patricia walked over to Marcus. She looked at her son with an expression he had never seen before. Disappointment, mixed with sadness, mixed with anger. Do you understand what you are agreeing to? Patricia asked. These are not words, Marcus. This is a commitment. These children are 7 years old. You will be in their lives until they are adults. You will be there when they graduate high school, when they go to college, when they get married, when they have their own children. This is forever. Marcus swallowed hard. I know, Mom. I understand. Do you? Patricia's voice rose. Because you already failed them once. You ran away when things got hard. What makes this time different? Marcus did not answer. He looked at his 4 children. They stared back at him with identical brown eyes. His eyes. They did not smile. They did not run to hug him. They just watched him with careful, cautious expressions. Brenda spoke from the couch. "Those children do not know you, Marcus. You are a stranger to them. You have to earn the right to be their father." "I know," Marcus whispered. Tom cleared his throat. "Can I ask a question? What happens if the kids do not want to see you? What if they decide they do not want you in their lives?" Keisha answered. "Then Marcus loses. The deal is off. These children get to choose. I will not force them to spend time with someone who hurt their mother. Someone who abandoned them before they were born." Marcus took a step toward the children. He moved slowly. He stopped a few feet away from them. He knelt down on the floor, so he was at their eye level. "I know you do not know me," Marcus said. His voice cracked. "I know I was not there when you were born. I know I missed everything. Your first words, your first steps, every birthday, every Christmas." The children did not respond. They watched him with serious faces. Marcus continued. "I was scared. When your mom told me she was pregnant with 4 babies, I panicked. I thought about money and diapers and sleepless nights. I thought about how my life would change. I only thought about myself." Mark, the oldest boy, crossed his arms. His voice was clear and hard. "So you left. You left our mom when she needed help." "Yes," Marcus said. "I left. And that was the worst mistake of my life." "Why should we believe you will stay this time?" Mark asked. The question hung in the air. Everyone waited for Marcus to answer. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. What could he say? He had no good answer. He could not prove he would stay. He could not promise anything because his promises meant nothing. Marcus felt tears start to form in his eyes. He was 35 years old, and he was crying in front of his children. His mother, his sisters, everyone he knew. "I cannot prove it," Marcus finally said. "I can only try. I can only show up every day and hope that one day you will believe me." Maya, one of the girls, stepped forward. She had her arms crossed just like her brother. "You were not just scared. You were mean. There is a difference." Marcus flinched. A 7-year-old girl just saw through him completely. She was right. He was not just scared. He was cruel. "You are right," Marcus admitted. "I was cruel. I chose my comfort over your lives. I chose myself over all of you. I cannot change what I did, but I want to try to be better." He looked at each child's face. "Will you give me a chance?" The 4 children looked at their mother. Keisha did not tell them what to say. She just nodded slightly. The choice was theirs. Mila adjusted her glasses. She studied Marcus carefully. "You can try, but trying is not the same as succeeding. Words are easy. Actions are hard. You have to prove you mean what you say." Marcus nodded. "I will prove it. I promise." Maya uncrossed her arms slightly. "We will see." Mason, the quietest child, looked at the floor. He did not say anything, but he did not walk away either. Mark spoke last. His voice was firm. "You get one chance. Just one. If you disappear again, we will forget you exist. Do you understand?" Marcus understood. He understood completely. Marcus stayed kneeling on the floor. His knees pressed against the hard wood. He looked at each of his children's faces. 4 faces. All the same. All his. "I understand," Marcus said quietly. "One chance. That is more than I deserve." Patricia stood behind him. She put her hand on his shoulder. "Marcus, you need to apologize to them properly. You need to say the words." Marcus took a deep breath. His hands were shaking. He clasped them together to make them stop. "I am sorry," Marcus said. His voice cracked. "I am so sorry. I should have been there when you were born. I should have held you when you were babies. I should have been there for every birthday and every Christmas and every day in between." Mark's face did not change. "Why were you not there?" "I was selfish. I was thinking only about myself. I thought about how hard my life would be with 4 children. I thought about money and time and freedom. I did not think about you. I did not think about your mother. I only thought about me." Maya spoke next. "Did you ever think about us? Even once in 8 years?" Marcus wanted to lie. He wanted to say yes. He wanted to say he thought about them every day. But these children deserved the truth. "No," Marcus admitted. "I tried not to think about you. When I did think about you, I told myself you were better off without me. I told myself lies so I would not feel guilty." Mila pushed her glasses up again. "You felt guilty?" "Yes, every day. I just ignored it. I pushed it away. I pretended everything was fine." Mason finally spoke. His voice was soft and quiet. "Our mom never ignored us. She was always there. Even when she was tired. Even when she was sad. She never left." Marcus felt the words hit him. Mason was right. Keisha never left. She stayed. She worked. She sacrificed. She built a life for their children while Marcus ran away. "Your mother is the strongest person I have ever known," Marcus said. "She did what I could not do. She loved you when I was too scared to try." Brenda wiped tears from her face. She was still sitting on the couch holding baby Jasmine. "Those babies needed you, Marcus. They needed a father, and you are not there." "I know." Nicole stood up and walked closer. "Do you know what you missed? You missed their first smiles, their first words, their first steps. You missed when they learned to ride bikes, when they lost their first teeth, when they started school. You missed everything that matters." Marcus covered his face with his hands. Tears ran between his fingers. I know what I missed. I cannot get those years back. They are gone forever." Patricia knelt down next to her son. "But you can be there for what comes next. If you choose to be. If you commit to being a real father." Marcus dropped his hands. He looked at his mother. Then he looked at his children again, 4 children, 7 years old. They were not babies anymore. They had personalities, opinions, memories that did not include him. "Can I hug you?" Marcus asked. "Or is that too much right now?" The children looked at each other. They had a silent conversation with their eyes. Finally, Mark shook his head. "Not yet. We do not know you yet." Marcus nodded. "That is fair. That is completely fair." "Maybe later," Mila said. "Maybe after you prove you will stay." "I will prove it," Marcus said. "I will show up. I will be there. I will not disappear again." Maya narrowed her eyes. "Everyone says they will stay. Words are easy." "You are right. Words are easy. I will show you with my actions." Keisha stood up from the couch. She walked over to her children and placed her hands on their shoulders. "That is enough for now. The children gave you their answer. They are willing to let you try. Do not waste this chance. Marcus stood up slowly. His knees ached from kneeling on the hard floor. He wiped his face with his sleeve. His expensive suit was wrinkled and damp with tears. "Thank you," Marcus said to the children. "Thank you for giving me a chance I do not deserve." Mark did not smile. "We are doing this for Grandma. She wants to know us. We want to know her too. And our aunts." Patricia started crying again. "You can call me Grandma. I would love that so much." Maya looked at Patricia. "Can we see your house? Mom said you live in the mountains." "Yes," Patricia said. "Let me show you everything. I have a big backyard and a Christmas tree. And cookies. Do you like cookies?" All four children nodded. Mason said, "I like chocolate chip cookies." "I made chocolate chip cookies this morning," Patricia said. "Come with me to the kitchen. I will show you." Patricia led the four children toward the kitchen. They followed her carefully. Brenda and Nicole walked behind them. Tom and Keith stood near the doorway watching. The teenage boys, David and Christopher, finally came out of the corner. "Can we show them our video games?" Christopher asked. Nicole smiled. "That is a nice idea. Ask them if they want to play after cookies." Marcus stood alone in the living room. The engagement ring still sat on the floor near the Christmas tree. Nobody picked it up. Nobody cared about it anymore. Keisha walked to the window. She looked outside at the black helicopter sitting on the snowy lawn. She spoke without turning around. "You broke something inside me when you left, Marcus. I trusted you completely. When you filed for divorce, I felt like my world ended. I cried every night for months. I thought I would never recover." Marcus did not know what to say. "I am sorry. I know that is not enough, but I am so sorry." Keisha turned to face him. "I did not come here for your apology. I came here so your children could see where they came from. They needed to meet their grandmother. They needed to see their aunts. Whether you deserve to be in their lives is up to you to prove." "I will prove it. You better. Because if you hurt them, if you disappoint them, if you abandon them again, I will destroy you. Do you understand? I have the money and the power to make your life very difficult." Marcus believed her. He saw the steel in her eyes. Keisha was not the scared pregnant woman he left 8 years ago. She was powerful now, successful, strong. "I understand," Marcus said. From the kitchen, they heard Patricia's voice. "Let me take your coats. Make yourselves comfortable. Do you want milk with your cookies?" The children's voices answered, "Yes, please." Keisha smiled, hearing her children's voices. "They are good kids. I made sure of that. I taught them manners. I taught them kindness. I taught them strength. They know their worth. They know they do not need you. But I want them to have the choice." "They deserve that choice," Marcus said. "Yes, they do." Patricia came back into the living room. Her face was bright with joy. "The ham is ready. We should eat soon. The children are hungry." She looked at the broken wine glass on the floor. Red wine had stained the white carpet. "Oh, I forgot about that mess. I will clean it up after dinner." Keisha checked her watch. It was 1:30 in the afternoon. "We can stay for dinner. Then we need to fly back to Austin before dark." "You are leaving today?" Patricia's face fell. "I just met them. I do not want them to go yet. We have school next week, and I have meetings. But we can come back. We can visit again." Patricia grabbed Keisha's hands. "Please, please come back. I want to know my grandchildren. I want to be part of their lives." "That depends on them," Keisha said. "If they want to visit, we will visit." Patricia hugged Keisha tightly. "Thank you. Thank you for bringing them here. Thank you for giving us a chance to know them." Nicole and Brenda came back from the kitchen. Nicole carried baby Jasmine now. Brenda's hands were free. "Those kids are amazing," Brenda said. "They are so polite and smart." Mila told me about all the books she read. Mark explained how his robot works. Maya showed me a dance move. Mason is drawing a picture of our house. Nicole smiled. "They are wonderful children. You did an incredible job raising them, Keisha." "Thank you," Keisha said. Patricia clapped her hands together. "Okay, it is time for Christmas dinner. Everyone to the dining room." She walked to the kitchen doorway and called out, "Children, dinner is ready." The 4 children came out of the kitchen. They each held a cookie. Chocolate covered their faces. Patricia laughed and wiped Maya's cheek with a napkin. "We will eat real food first, then more cookies after." Everyone moved toward the dining room. Patricia had set the table earlier that morning. Red placemats, gold napkins, candles, holly branches. The ham sat in the center of the table on a large white platter. Patricia started counting. "I need to add more chairs. I did not know we would have 4 extra people." Tom and Keith went to get folding chairs from the garage. They brought them in and squeezed them around the table. Patricia rearranged everything to make room. Keisha helped the children take off their coats. She hung them on hooks near the front door. The children wore nice clothes underneath. Mark wore a red sweater. Mason wore a green sweater. Maya wore a green dress. Mila wore a red dress. "You all match," Patricia said. "You look beautiful." The family gathered around the dining room table. Patricia directed everyone where to sit. She put the 4 children between Marcus and Keisha. Keisha looked at Marcus. Her voice was calm but firm. "It is time for Christmas dinner. Marcus, you are sitting with your children." Marcus sat down in the chair next to Mark. His hands felt sweaty. He did not know what to say to a 7-year-old boy. He did not know how to talk to children. He never spent time with children. Even his nephews, David and Christopher, he barely spoke to them at family events. Patricia brought the ham to the table. Steam rose from the brown sugar glaze. She placed it in the center carefully. Then she brought out sweet potato casserole, green beans, rolls, and cranberry sauce. The table was full of food. "This looks wonderful, Mom," Nicole said. She sat across from Marcus with Tom beside her. Brenda sat at the other end with Keith and baby Jasmine. The teenage boys, David and Christopher, sat together. They kept looking at the quadruplets with curiosity. Patricia sat at the head of the table. She looked around at everyone. Her eyes filled with tears again. "I need to say something before we eat," Patricia said. "This is the best Christmas I have had in years. I have my whole family here, including 4 grandchildren I never knew existed. I'm so grateful you are all here." She looked at Keisha. "Thank you for bringing them. Thank you for giving us this gift." Keisha nodded. "You are welcome." Patricia started serving food. She put ham on each child's plate. "Do you like sweet potatoes?" Mila nodded. "Yes, please." "What about green beans?" All 4 children said yes. They were polite. They said please and thank you. They waited until everyone had food before touching their forks. Marcus watched them. These were his children. They had good manners. They knew how to sit at a table properly. Keisha taught them well. Patricia filled everyone's plate. When she sat down, everyone started eating. The room was quiet, except for the sound of forks on plates. Nicole broke the silence. "So, kids, what grade are you in?" "Second grade," Mark answered. He was the one who spoke most often. "What is your favorite subject in school?" "I like math and science." "Science! Patricia said. "You said you are building a robot. Tell me more about that." Mark's face lit up. "I am building it for the science fair. It has wheels and a mechanical arm. I am programming it with a computer. You tell it to pick up a toy, and it finds the toy and puts it in a box." "That is amazing," Nicole said. "How did you learn to do that?" "I watch videos on the internet, and my mom got me a robotics kit for my birthday." Patricia beamed. "You must be very smart." Mark shrugged. "I just like building things." Brenda looked at Mason. "What about you? What do you like?" Mason looked down at his plate. He was shy. "I like art class." "He draws the most beautiful pictures," Mila said, helping her brother. "He draws dragons and superheroes." "I would love to see your drawings," Brenda said. "Do you have any with you?" Mason shook his head. "Maybe you can draw me a picture before you leave today?" Brenda asked. Mason looked at his mother. Keisha nodded. Mason said quietly, "Okay, I can do that." Tom asked, "Do you kids play any sports?" Mark said, "I play soccer. I am on a team in Austin." "What position?" "Forward. I scored 3 goals this season." "That is impressive," Tom said. Patricia looked at Maya. "And you take ballet?" Maya sat up straighter. She had confidence when she spoke. "Yes, I take class twice a week. I am going to be in a recital in January. I am dancing the part of a snowflake." "That sounds beautiful. I would love to see you dance." "You can come to Austin and watch," Maya said. "Mom always invites people to my recitals." Patricia's eyes filled with tears again. "I would love that. I would love to come to Austin and visit you." Nicole looked at Mila. "Your mom said you love reading. What are you reading right now?" Mila pushed her glasses up. "I am reading a mystery book called The Secret of Shadow Lake. It is about a girl who solves a mystery at summer camp." "Do you like mysteries?" "Yes, I like figuring out the clues before the detective does." "How many books have you read this year?" 40 books? Everyone at the table looked impressed. Nicole said, 40 books! That is more than I read in a year." Mila smiled. "I read every night before bed. Mom says reading is important." Keisha watched her children talk with the family. She felt proud. Her babies were smart and articulate. They were not afraid to talk to new people. She raised them to be confident. Marcus sat silently. He listened to his children's voices. He learned things he should have known years ago. Mark liked science. Mason liked art. Maya liked dancing. Mila liked reading. These were basic things a father should know. Maya took a bite of sweet potato. Her eyes widened. "This is really good, Grandma." Patricia smiled so big her face hurt. "Thank you, sweetie. It is my special recipe. My mother taught me how to make it. Can you teach my mom? Then she can make it for us." "Of course. I will write down the recipe before you leave." During dinner, David spoke up. He was 16 years old. "Hey, do you guys like video games?" Mark nodded. "Yeah, I play sometimes." "What games?" "I like racing games and building games." Christopher, who was 14, said, "We have a racing game upstairs. Do you want to play after dinner?" Mark looked at his mother. Keisha said, "That is fine, if you want to." Mason spoke quietly. "Can I come too?" "Of course," David said. "You can all come. We have 4 controllers." Maya shook her head. "I do not like video games. They are boring." Brenda laughed. "You can help me with the baby instead. Would you like that?" Maya nodded. "I like babies. They are cute." As dinner continued, Marcus tried to find something to say. He cleared his throat. "Mark, when is your science fair?" Mark looked at him. His face was neutral. April 15th. Maybe I could come watch, if you want. Mark was quiet for a moment. Maybe. We will see. Marcus felt the words hit him. We will see. That meant Mark did not trust him yet. That meant Mark was waiting to see if Marcus would actually show up. Patricia passed the rolls around the table. Everyone take 2. I made extra. Mason reached for a roll, but it slipped from his hand. It fell off the table and hit the floor. His face turned red. Marcus bent down quickly. He picked up the roll. He handed it to Mason. Here you go. It is okay. Happens to everyone. Mason looked surprised. He took the roll carefully. Thank you, he said in a small voice. It was the first time Mason spoke directly to Marcus. The moment felt important. Marcus's chest felt tight. Such a small thing, picking up a dropped roll, but it mattered. Keisha noticed. She saw the interaction. She saw Mason's surprised face. She saw Marcus trying. She did not smile. She was not ready to forgive Marcus. But she saw him trying. After the main course, Patricia brought out dessert, pecan pie and chocolate cake. The children cheered when they saw the cake. Can we have both? Mila asked. Patricia laughed. You can have whatever you want. She cut large slices of cake for everyone. The children ate with enthusiasm. Chocolate covered their mouths. Whipped cream got on Maya's nose. Patricia wiped it off with a napkin, laughing. You are supposed to eat it, not wear it, Patricia joked. Tom pulled out his phone. Can I take a picture? This is a special day. Patricia nodded. Yes, take lots of pictures. Tom stood up and pointed his phone at the table. Everyone smile. The family smiled. The children smiled. Even Marcus tried to smile. Tom took several photos. The flash went off multiple times. Patricia stood up. I want a picture with my grandchildren. Just me and the 4 of them. The children got up from the table. They stood next to Patricia in the living room in front of the Christmas tree. Patricia knelt down and put her arms around all 4 of them. They leaned into her carefully. They did not know her well yet, but they let her hug them. Tom took the picture. Then Nicole took a picture with her phone. Then Brenda took a picture with her phone. Now, one with the aunts, Brenda said. Nicole and Brenda stood with the 4 children. They smiled. Tom took more pictures. Can we take one with our mom? Mila asked. Of course, Patricia said. Keisha stood up and walked over to her children. They gathered around her, 2 children on each side. They smiled at the camera. This was their family. The 5 of them. They were a unit. Tom took that picture too. Then Patricia said, Now one with Marcus. The room went quiet. The children looked at each other. They looked at their mother. Keisha nodded. It was up to them. Mark spoke. Okay, but just one picture. Marcus walked over slowly. He stood near the children but did not touch them. The 4 children stood in a line. Marcus stood next to them. He put his hands in his pockets. He did not know where else to put them. Tom took the picture. It was awkward. The children did not lean toward Marcus. Marcus did not smile naturally. But it was a picture. It was a start. After dessert, David and Christopher took Mark and Mason upstairs to play video games. Maya stayed with Brenda and played with baby Jasmine. Mila sat with Patricia and Nicole on the couch. They talked about books. Keisha looked at her watch. It was 3:30 in the afternoon. We should start getting ready to leave. We need to be back in Austin before dark. Patricia's face fell. Already? You just got here. It is a 4-hour flight. We need to leave soon. Patricia stood up and called to the children. "Babies, come say goodbye. You are leaving soon." The children came down from upstairs and from different rooms. They gathered near the front door. Patricia pulled Marcus into the kitchen. Her voice was low and serious. "You have one job now. Do not fail those children again." Marcus looked at his mother's face. Her eyes were serious. She was not asking him. She was telling him. This was not a request. This was a command. "I will not fail them," Marcus said. "I promise." "Do not promise me. Promise them. Those 4 children are the only people who matter now." Marcus nodded. His throat felt tight. "I understand." Patricia walked back to the living room. Marcus followed her. The children were putting on their coats. Keisha zipped up Mila's jacket. She fixed Maya's hat. She made sure Mason's gloves were in his pockets. "Do you have everything?" Keisha asked her children. "Yes, Mom," they answered together. Patricia knelt down in front of the quadruplets. She was crying again. She had been crying on and off all day. "I do not want you to leave. I just met you. I need more time with you." Mila put her small hand on Patricia's cheek. "We can come back? Right, Mom?" Keisha nodded. "If you want to visit again, we can visit again." "I want to," Maya said. "Grandma is nice, and her house is pretty." Patricia laughed through her tears. "You can come visit anytime at all." She reached into her pocket and pulled out 4 small pieces of paper. She had written her phone number on each one. She handed one to each child. "This is my phone number. You can call me whenever you want. I will always answer. Do you understand? Always." Mark took his paper and folded it carefully. "Thank you, Grandma." Mason put his paper in his coat pocket. Maya held hers in her gloved hand. Mila looked at the numbers carefully. "Can we text you too?" Mila asked. "Yes, you can call or text, whatever you want." Nicole came over with her phone. "Keisha, can I have your number and your address in Austin? I want to send the kids Christmas presents." "Of course." Keisha recited her phone number and Nicole typed it into her phone. Brenda came over too, still holding baby Jasmine. "Me too. I want your number. I want to visit you in Austin. I want to be a real aunt." "You are welcome anytime," Keisha said. She gave Brenda her number and address. Tom took more pictures with his phone. "I am sending these to everyone. We need to document this day." The teenage boys, David and Christopher, came downstairs. David handed something to Mark. It was a piece of paper with usernames written on it. "This is our gaming information. We can play online together if you want." Mark's face lit up. "Really? That would be cool." "Yeah, we can race cars. It will be fun." Mason looked up at Christopher. "Can I play too?" "Of course, little man. All of you can play." Marcus stood near the door. He felt like an outsider. Everyone was saying goodbye to the children. Everyone was exchanging information. Everyone was making plans to stay connected. But Marcus had nothing to give them. No relationship, no history, just empty promises. Mark walked over to Marcus. He held out a piece of paper. Marcus took it. The paper had an email address written in careful handwriting. The letters were slightly crooked, but readable. "This is our email," Mark said. "All 4 of us share it. Mom checks it with us every day. You can write to us here, if you want." Marcus held the paper like it was the most valuable thing in the world. "I will write to you, every week. I promise." Mark's face did not change. "We will see." Marcus put the paper in his wallet. He would not lose it. He would protect it. Maya walked past Marcus without saying anything. She did not look at him. She held her grandmother's hand instead. Mila stopped in front of Marcus. She looked up at him. Her glasses reflected the Christmas lights from the tree. "We will see if you mean what you said today," Mila said. Her voice was serious. "Words are easy. My mom says actions matter more than words." Marcus nodded. "Your mom is right. I will show you with my actions." "Good." Mila walked away to join her siblings. Mason was the last one. He stood near the door with his hands in his pockets. He looked at Marcus. He did not say anything. Then he lifted one hand and waved. It was a small wave. Just a quick movement. But it was something. Marcus felt his eyes fill with tears. He waved back. His hand shook. "Bye, Mason," Marcus said quietly. Mason did not answer. He just turned and walked outside. The family moved toward the front door. The cold wind came inside. Snow was falling lightly. The black helicopter sat on the lawn. Its blades were still. Patricia walked outside with the children. She held Maya's hand on one side and Mila's hand on the other. Nicole and Brenda followed. Tom and Keith came too. Even the teenage boys came outside to watch them leave. Marcus stood on the porch. He wrapped his arms around himself. He did not have his coat on. The cold bit through his expensive suit. Carl, the helicopter pilot, opened the door and helped the children climb inside. He gave them each a headset. He showed them how to buckle their seatbelts. Keisha turned to Patricia one last time. "Thank you for being kind today. The children needed to meet their grandmother." Patricia hugged Keisha tightly. "Thank you for bringing them. Thank you for giving us a chance. I am so sorry about Marcus. I am so sorry I raised a son who could do what he did." "It is not your fault," Keisha said. "Marcus made his own choices. But I made excuses for him his whole life. I spoiled him. I never taught him consequences. I created this problem." Keisha pulled back and looked Patricia in the eyes. "You did not create this problem. Marcus did. But you can help fix it by holding him accountable now." "I will. I promise I will." Nicole hugged Keisha. "Please let us visit. Please. I want to know my nieces and nephews." "You are welcome anytime," Keisha said. Brenda hugged Keisha too. "I will call you next week. We will make plans." Keisha climbed into the helicopter. Carl closed the door. Through the window, the family could see the 4 children sitting in a row. They wore their headsets. They looked small inside the large helicopter. The engine started. The blades began to turn, slowly at first, then faster, then very fast. The noise was loud. Wind blew snow everywhere. Patricia backed up toward the house. Nicole and Brenda stood on either side of her. Tom held his phone up and recorded a video. The teenage boys shielded their faces from the blowing snow. Marcus stood on the porch. He did not move. The wind hit his face. Snow covered his hair and shoulders. He stared at the helicopter. The helicopter lifted off the ground, slowly, carefully. It rose 5 feet, then 10 feet, then 20 feet. The family waved from the ground. Inside the helicopter, the children waved back. Patricia blew kisses. The helicopter turned and moved forward. It flew over the house. The noise started to fade. The helicopter got smaller and smaller in the sky. The sun was setting. The sky was pink and orange. The black helicopter was a dark spot against the colorful sky. Then it was gone. The family stood in the snow. Nobody spoke. The yard was a mess. The helicopter had crushed Patricia's flower garden. Snow covered everything. Patricia started crying again. "They are gone! My grandbabies are gone." Nicole put her arm around her mother. "They will come back, Mom. They will visit again. But what if they do not? What if this was the only time? It will not be the only time. You heard Keisha. We can visit them in Austin. We can call them. We can be part of their lives. Brenda wiped her own tears. Those kids are amazing. I cannot believe Marcus missed their whole lives. I cannot believe he threw them away. Tom turned off his phone. He did not just throw them away. He pretended they did not exist. That is worse. Keith shook his head. I do not understand how someone can do that. How can you abandon 4 babies? The family walked back inside the house. They were cold and wet from the snow. Patricia closed the front door. The house felt empty now. Too quiet. Marcus still stood on the porch. He watched the place in the sky where the helicopter disappeared. He could not see it anymore, but he stared anyway. His hands were freezing. His hair was wet with melted snow. His suit was ruined, but he did not move. He thought about Mason's wave. One small wave, the tiniest gesture. But it gave Marcus something he did not have before. Hope. Maybe his children would forgive him. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not for years. But maybe someday. If he worked hard enough. If he showed up every single day. If he proved he was different now. The front door opened behind him. Patricia stepped onto the porch. She handed Marcus his coat. You will freeze out here. Marcus took the coat but did not put it on. He just held it. Patricia stood next to her son. She looked at the empty sky. What are you going to do now? Marcus finally looked at his mother. I am going to be better. I am going to be the father I should have been from the beginning. That is a nice thing to say, Marcus. But how will you do it? Marcus put on his coat. The cold had settled into his bones. I do not know yet, but I will figure it out. 3 months passed. Winter ended. Spring came to Colorado. The snow melted from the mountains. Flowers started growing in Patricia's garden where the helicopter had landed. Marcus's life looked completely different now. On a Tuesday evening in March, Marcus stood in his new apartment. It was small, 1 room with a kitchen in the corner. The walls were thin. He could hear his neighbor's television through the wall. This apartment cost half what his old apartment cost. Marcus moved here 4 weeks after Christmas. He sold his BMW back to the dealership. He lost money on the deal, but he needed cash. Now he drove a 10-year-old Honda Civic. The car was silver with a dent in the back door. The radio only worked sometimes, but it ran. Marcus cut up all his credit cards. He stopped buying expensive clothes. He stopped going to expensive restaurants. He made coffee at home instead of buying it. He brought lunch to work instead of eating out. Every 2 weeks, Marcus sent Keisha money. $500 each time. It was not much. It was not enough to cover 8 years, but it was something. Marcus was trying to help support his children, even though Keisha did not need his money. Every Sunday night, Marcus wrote an email to the Quadruplets. He told them about his week. He asked about their week. He asked about school and soccer and dance and books. The first email he sent was short. Dear Mark, Mason, Maya, and Mila, I hope you got home safely. I hope you had a good week at school. I am thinking about you. Love, Marcus. He waited 3 days for a response. No answer came. Marcus wrote another email the next Sunday. Still no response. On the 3rd week, Mila responded. Her email was polite, but distant. Hello, Marcus. Thank you for writing. We had a good week. I read 3 books. Goodbye, Mila. Marcus printed the email and put it on his refrigerator. It was not much, but it was communication. After 6 weeks, Mark started responding too. His emails were short. "Hi, soccer practice was good. I scored a goal. Mark." Maya never responded. Marcus did not blame her. She had every right to be angry. Mason sent one email in February. It had no words, just a picture he drew. The picture showed a robot with wheels and a mechanical arm. Marcus printed the drawing. He hung it on his refrigerator next to Mila's email. Marcus called his mother every Sunday after he sent his email to the children. Patricia always asked the same questions. "Did you write to them?" "Yes, Mom." "Did they respond?" Mila and Mark did. Mason sent a drawing. "What about Maya?" "Nothing yet." "Keep trying. Do not give up." "I will not give up." On a Wednesday afternoon in early March, Marcus sat in a small office across from a woman named Dr. Sarah Kim. She was a therapist. She had short black hair and kind eyes. She wore glasses. "Why are you here, Marcus?" Dr. Kim asked. Marcus looked at his hands. "I abandoned my 4 children 8 years ago. I need help. I need to understand why I did that. I need to be better." "That is a good reason to seek therapy. Tell me about your children." Marcus talked for an hour. He told Dr. Kim everything. The pregnancy, the divorce, the 8 years of silence, the helicopter, the Christmas dinner, the children's faces. Dr. Kim listened without judgment. When Marcus finished, she said, "What you did was harmful. You hurt your children and their mother. But you are here now. That is a start." "How do I fix this?" Marcus asked. "You cannot fix the past. You can only change the future. You have to show up every day. You have to be consistent. You have to prove your words with actions." Marcus went to therapy every Wednesday. He talked about his guilt, his shame, his fear of failing again. Dr. Kim helped him understand himself. She helped him learn to be better. In April, Marcus bought a plane ticket to Austin, Texas. Mark's 8th birthday was on April 15th. Marcus was going to attend his son's birthday party. He was nervous. He bought gifts for all 4 children. Science books for Mark. Art supplies for Mason. Ballet shoes for Maya. Mystery novels for Mila. Marcus flew into Austin on Saturday morning. He rented a cheap car at the airport. He drove to Keisha's address. His hands shook on the steering wheel. Keisha's house was huge. It sat on a hill with a view of the city. The driveway was long and curved. Marcus parked behind 5 other cars. Other families were already here. He walked to the front door carrying 4 wrapped presents. He rang the doorbell. His heart pounded in his chest. Keisha opened the door. She wore jeans and a casual shirt. She looked at Marcus with neutral eyes. "You came," she said. "I said I would come." "People say a lot of things." Marcus held up the presents. "I brought gifts." Keisha stepped aside. "The party is in the backyard. Follow me." Marcus walked through the house. It was beautiful. High ceilings, expensive furniture, art on the walls. This was Keisha's world now. A world Marcus would never have. The backyard was full of children. 20 kids ran around playing games. Parents stood in groups talking. A long table held a cake shaped like a robot. Balloons floated in the trees. The Quadruplets played with other children near the pool. Mark saw Marcus first. He stopped running. He stared. Marcus walked over slowly. "Happy birthday, Mark." Mark did not smile. "You actually came." "I said I would." "People break promises." "I know, but I am trying not to." Mark looked at the wrapped presents. "Are those for me?" "One is for you, one for each of your siblings." Mark called to his siblings. Mason, Maya, Mila, come here. The three other children ran over. They stopped when they saw Marcus. Their faces showed surprise. He came to my party, Mark said. Maya crossed her arms. Weebles. Marcus knelt down. Because I want to be here. Because this is an important day. He handed Mark a present. This is for you. Happy birthday. Mark opened it carefully. Inside were 3 books about robotics and engineering. His eyes widened. These are advanced books, Mark said. You are a smart kid. I thought you could handle them. Mark looked at the books. He did not say thank you, but he did not throw them away either. Marcus gave presents to the other 3 children. Mason got a professional art set with pencils and markers. Maya got pink ballet shoes in her size. Mila got a box set of mystery novels. The children looked at their gifts. They did not hug Marcus. They did not say they loved him. But they accepted the presents. Marcus stayed at the party for 3 hours. He helped clean up trash. He stacked chairs. He threw away paper plates. Keisha watched him work. She did not help him. She just watched. When the party ended, Marcus said goodbye to the children. Mark said, "Thank you for the books." I mean, it was just 3 words, but Marcus held on to them the whole flight back to Denver. Months passed. Summer came, then fall. Marcus kept writing emails. He kept calling his mother. He kept going to therapy. He kept sending money. Christmas arrived again. 1 year after the helicopter landed. 1 year after everything changed. Patricia called Marcus on December 20th. Keisha called me. She is bringing the children for Christmas again. They are driving this time. They will stay for a whole week. Marcus's heart jumped. They are coming back? Yes, the children asked to come. They want to see me and their aunts. Do they want to see me? Patricia paused. I do not know, Marcus, but you will be here. You will show up. You will keep trying. On Christmas morning, Marcus drove to Boulder. He arrived at his mother's house at 9 o'clock. Nicole and Brenda were already there with their families. Everyone waited. At 10:30, a black SUV pulled into the driveway. Not a helicopter this time, a regular car. Keisha got out first. Then the 4 children climbed out. They were 8 years old now, taller. Their faces had changed slightly, but they still looked like Marcus. Patricia ran outside. She hugged each child. Nicole and Brenda hugged them too. The children laughed and talked. They were comfortable here now. This was family. Marcus stood on the porch. Mark saw him. The boy walked over slowly. Hi, Mark said. Hi, Marcus said. I am glad you came back. Grandma makes good cookies. Marcus smiled. She does. Mason came over next. He handed Marcus a piece of paper. It was a drawing of a dragon. The dragon had detailed scales and wings. I made this for you, Mason said quietly. Marcus took the drawing like it was made of gold. Thank you, Mason. This is beautiful. Can I keep it? Mason nodded. Maya and Mila stood together near their mother. They did not come over, but they did not leave either. That afternoon, Patricia took a family photo. Everyone stood in front of the Christmas tree. Marcus stood next to his children. Not too close, but next to them. Mark stood on his left. Mason stood on his right. Maya and Mila stood between their mother and grandmother. Everyone smiled. It was not perfect, but it was real. Marcus looked at his 4 children and understood something important. Forgiveness was not one moment. Forgiveness was years of showing up, years of being present, years of proving you changed. He had a lifetime of work ahead of him. But for the first time, Marcus Reynolds understood what love actually meant. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen